Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back today with another 12 trades I did. It was a combination of between today and yesterday and one trade from the 15th. That's January the 15th. Today's date is January the 19th, and most of these trades I've taken was a great way to trade. Exactly the way I teach in the training videos. Now, due to the fact that I'm not sure which one will go, and the ones that do not move, then I'm just looking to scalp. And that is the main reason I'm doing usually around 5 trades each day or more, so that I can at least do better than just, 2 to 10 pips, as you can see on these down to here. If it's less than 10 pips, that is scalping, and of course everything above 10 pips, I call that a bonus. So moving right along, I did this Euro New Zealand 2 times. This was on today's, which was around 7 a.m. this morning. Let's drag and drop it up here. Now in real time, right at this point, I more or less thought it was going to keep going up and break the top, and it can still do it, but after approaching almost 3 hours, I got tired of waiting, so I finally just decided to close out the trade. This is an example of a great way to trade that's using the indicators on the top along with the indicators down at the bottom. Very easy concept. You can learn it quite quickly. Got in right at this cursor here. Did go 16 pips against me. And I finally decided just to close it out. Doesn't look like with much, but 1 pip. As I've said many times, I would rather close out with 1 pip than lose 30 or 40 pips. And that 1 pip on the Euro New Zealand paid $71. And of course, I'm using my newest trigger system. It's called Fractal Triggers. That's this one right here. I love it because you can put the time on the time frame. You can put any time frame you want. 4 hours, daily, weekly, monthly. Just change the number of minutes in here. And it's got built-in alarms, pop-up boxes, audio, sound. All you got to do is activate it, press OK, and save the template. Don't forget, save the template. This fractal was suggesting a pullback, which is what I was waiting for, and then it started to go up, and then it went sideways for 2.5 hours. Now, one most important thing that I want to announce is that all trading systems will work less than 50% of the time. So if you jump around, as I did, changing systems almost on a weekly basis and was always struggling with them, that was the biggest problem, was changing too many systems and not knowing how to trade the flow of the market. It took me about 8 years and about 700 systems to figure that out on my own. And that is what I'm teaching, how to trade the flow of the market. And so once you learn how to trade the flow of the market, you will get that percentage up to 80 or 90%. But you will have to learn how to trade the flow of the market, which is what I teach. And of course, you'll have to learn trade management and money management. So remember, once you learn how to trade the flow of the market, all the systems you have, including all of my trigger systems, will work much better. Now in real time on this second Euro New Zealand trade right in here, this was the pullback, and I was expecting it to continue to go down because at this point right here, everything was red down at the bottom, and it could have easily kept going down, broke the goal line, and do a complete reversal. So I took the trade and I had to sit around all through this, which is 20 pips that went against me. And I knew eventually it was going to give me some profits. And looks like I ended up closing it out with 6 pips here. It's the second digit, by the way. So 6 pips on the Euro New Zealand, paid $427. Okay, moving on to the next pair. This one right here, Euro Aussie. Let's run a check on that. Now I did trade it today, and I did also trade it right here yesterday. So let's drag and drop it up and see where I got in at. This is another good example of a great way to trade. Took the trade right here at this cursor. Did go against me 9 pips. And I closed it out here just because I was more or less just happy. And I had to do this video and I got to do an errand. So this one here, I cut it short with only 2 pips. And 2 pips on this Euro Aussie trade paid out $154. Now on this second Euro Aussie trade right here, I took it yesterday and it was the same as the previous trade. I thought it was going to keep going down and break through as everything was red down at the bottom here and here. But it did do a cycle, one more cycle. I checked the higher time frames, which I teach how to do that within the training videos. And then of course I knew that it was going to do this bit of a cycle and then finally drop. And this is what I call the flow of the market. This is difficult to learn, as you have to know which way it's going to go and whether it's going to go up or down and which cycle it's in. So I sold it at this point. It did go against me 27 pips. Remember these workhorses, 25, 30 pips, a lot of times it will go against you. I ended up putting in a default of 20 pips target. It did hit it. And those 20 pips paid $1,542. Okay, let's move on to the next pair. We already did this one. Let's go to the dollar yen. Let's see what's happening there. Dollar yen. This pair, I hardly ever trade it, and I should not have bothered today. It just moves so terribly slow. I know one trader, that's all he trades, and he's quite successful. But for me, it just moves way too slow. But I just wanted to point out that if the meter is looking good enough, you can definitely take the trade. So I sold it. Let's see where I got in at. Right here. Again, it was the same thing. I was following my rules. Did this little bit of a pullback here, but I knew it was going to go down. Once you put in a trade and you know it's going to go in your favor, then you just take the trade. Did go against me 6 pips, and I closed it out with looks like 5 pips, and 5 pips on the dollar yen paid $481. So moving right along to the dollar CAD. This pair moves a little bit more, so I ended up selling this pair yesterday. Let's see, on the 18th. So let's go to the 30 minutes. Let's just see what's happening here. Dollar CAD. Sold it right in here. Same situation after the pullback. I knew it was working its way down. All the indicators at the bottom were saying so. So this is not a great way to trade, just to let you know that. This is a combination pullback, eventually breakthrough and working its way down. So I took the trade at this point and I closed it out. Looks like with 9 pips here, and 9 pips on the dollar CAD paid $627. Let's check out this next trade, which was also yesterday. Pound dollar. So let's back it up a little bit here to go to yesterday, and let's drag and drop it up on this pound dollar. Let's see what's happening here. So right at this point here, I ended up buying it. It was not quite a great way. Well, let's see. No, not quite a great way to trade. Doesn't qualify till it gets to the next candle. But I took the trade and I closed out right over here. It was moving dead slow, and I just decided to close out the trade. Looks like with 7 pips, and 7 pips on the pound dollar paid $700. Okay, the next one, euro dollar. Let's see what this one's looks like. We'll just drag and drop it up. I did this trade today around 12 minutes after 7 a.m. This is also a great way to trade, looking pretty good. Took the trade at this cursor and I closed it out as it was hitting and around the ADR here. Got 12 pips on that one, and 12 pips on the euro dollar paid $1,200. Okay, let's check out the next pair, pound Aussie. Took this trade yesterday morning around 7:20. In real time, this also did qualify for a great way to trade, but I'm here to tell you that the market is very random, and many times it will do another cycle, coming and testing this bottom over here, which is exactly what it did. So I had to wait for it to do one more cycle. Did go against me 35 pips, and I closed it out at this point right in here. Looks like with about 16 pips, and 16 pips on the pound Aussie paid $1,228. Now remember, I'm usually aiming for 50 or more pips per day, and this is covering 2 days. I was just way too busy yesterday to complete the YouTube video, so I'm combining yesterday into today's trades. And if you divide this by 2 total down here, both days did produce more than 50 pips. And combination of both days is well over 100 pips. So that's pretty good trading for the first 2 days of this week. Now this next trade, I already did this Euro Aussie, but this one right here, it gave me the hardest to manage. Remember, you have to have trade management, money management in order. But after I drill down the lights, that's what I call it, higher time frames, I'll only do that if I'm in a trade trying to decide, should I just close it out or should I just wait for it to do another cycle or 2 or whatever the case may be, and then end up closing it out with a profit. So the higher time frames were saying Euro CAD was gonna go up. So let's see, Euro CAD, had to put it on a higher time frame because I traded it a few days back. So Euro CAD got in here. Now it did do this one cycle. So once it broke the top up here, I thought it was just going to keep going, because according to my rules, trading around the goal line, everything was not absolutely, well, let's see. Yes, everything was looking pretty good except this AO here. And I guess I was half sleeping or whatever, and you will have days, I call them off days, where you are buying at the wrong time, and so you have to weather this storm right here. And it took a few days to materialize, and I ended up with a profit. Got in at this cursor. Now it did go 57 pips against me. I wasn't really too worried about it because I just looked a little to the left here, and I knew once I saw these candles here that it was going to continue to go up. Now I did have my 20 pip target, and I don't know why, but in the middle of the night here it should have hit it. But that's the way the brokers are sometimes. If it doesn't hit it enough, it will not trigger it. So then I had to wait for this complete cycle again. And eventually my 20 pips did kick in today, right here, with the 20 pips. And 20 pips on the trade eventually paid out on the Euro CAD $1,570. Remember, you either gonna close the trade, or you definitely have to manage, do trade management and know how to read the charts from a higher time frame. And that's exactly what I teach within the training videos. There is a lot of things that you have to master, and I try to teach as much as I can think of within the training videos. And of course, you can always get in contact with me and ask me further questions, which I don't charge for that, so that's all part of the package deal. Moving right along to the next pair here. Pound New Zealand. Let's go and take a look at it right here. Drag and drop it up. Let's see what's happening here. It was from a previous day. So let's just scroll back a little bit. This is where I got in. Perfect example of a great way to trade. Should have exercised a little bit of patience and wait for a pullback, but nonetheless, I knew that it was going to go up. Did go against me around 14 pips, and I closed it out. This was one of my better trades from yesterday, giving me 33 pips, and 33 pips on the Pound New Zealand paid $2,344. And the final pair here, which happens to be the Pound Swiss. It also happened today. Let's see, January the 19th, 7:25 this morning. Let's go down to the 15 minutes here. Let's see what's happening here. On this pair, I sold it. Let's see where I got in at. Another perfect example of a great way to trade. When I see this, it's like 95%. Very, very high percentage winning that I would end up winning. Took the trade here. Let's see what it did go against me. Oh, it went 1 pip. That's exactly the way I like to trade, even though some days I get the timing a little bit wrong, and so will you. So right at this point, right in here, let's see where I got out at. In here and out here with 22 pips, and 22 pips on the Pound Swiss paid $2,481. So for 2 days of trading, my pip total was well over 100 pips. It was 153 pips, and 153 pips paid $12,992. These are all, most of them were a great way to trade, and it's a fantastic way of trading using my fractal trigger system. So if your system is not producing, I suggest you get your hands on this new trigger system called the fractal trigger. All you got to do is look right below this video and you'll see this right up. It's my fractal trigger system. I do charge $250 for it. Comes with 4.5 gigabytes of training, and you'll get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. Comes with 4 MT4 templates, 10 custom indicators, and of course my favorite meter. Comes with a lot of books, a lot of Word documents. That's exactly what you're going to need. A lot of education to succeed at trading. Now, my number one way of trading is a great way to trade. There are plenty of ways that I teach, and that is why I produce 42 training videos, and I threw in 9 bonus videos. Now we're running really short of time, as this video is the longest one lately that I produced for YouTube. So I'm going to cut it a little bit short. All you got to do is put it on pause and read all the different things that I teach. If you have any questions, quite simple, pick up the phone and call me. Here's my number. Or if you live too far, just send me an email. Remember, there's an underscore right here. And if you send me an email, leave your name. I'll have your email. I'll put you on my list for some free trading tips. And of course, I do prefer Skype. Made it simple for you. All you got to do is click on this link right here. And then, of course, through Skype screen sharing, I will give you a free session with no obligation. Okay, over the years, I produce a lot of trigger systems. All you got to do is click on this link and you'll see 30 screenshots. So that just about wraps up this video. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, until the next trade, good luck with your trading, And remember, keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.